Hello, lads. Well, today I'm going to show you this PSA that is making the rounds on YouTube. And well, we'll sit through most of it. I'm gonna make you watch most of it. It's only a minute long. It's kind of insufferable, just like most of these virtue signaling PSAs. About stopping hate. No hate. Especially not of certain groups. But nothing is ever mentioned about hatred of white people, of course. Anyway, that's a different matter. And yes, my screen is still, there's schmutz all over my screen. How appropriate. Schmutz. What a putz I am for having all the schmutz on my screen. It's so much sugar. Anyway, so here we go. Stop Jewish hate.
I saw what you've been posting. Hitler was right. I didn't teach you that.
I didn't teach you that.
You hide behind your screen, spewing all this hatred and ugliness. You got something you want to say? Get out of the truck and say it to their faces.
Yeah, kid. Say it to their faces, kid. Do tell them, Dad. And he gives him a hard time. And now this is what. Oh, shoot. Hang on, let me go back. All right, so I went back. Oh, yuck. Yeah. Like, yeah, this is really, really irritating. Really irritating to watch. But the thing I want to dwell on, more than this scenario, of a dad just raking his son over the coals, for writing, for eavesdropping on what he writes on the internet and seeing that he wrote that Hitler was right. He used the phrase "Hitler was right." This is what appears at the end of this spot. And then he says, "If you got something to say, why don't you just you hide behind a screen?" This whole, if you're saying things anonymously online, then you're a coward. But like the alternative to that is somehow, if you were going out into the world and actually saying those things and saying, I'm so and so and I'm saying this, I'm expressing this sentiment, that would be more admirable, which I'm sure they, it's like, of course they don't think that. Of course what they really want is to expose people who say unquote unacceptable things, and then find out who they are and then ruin them, dox them and ruin them. And the people who are anonymous are not doxable, and that's why there's this push. Get out there and tell them. Say it to their faces. All these nice, sweet Jewish people at this location. It'd be kind of funny if they came across some spot, and I'm not getting involved in Middle East politics, but like if they came across some area where the IDF was shooting down a bunch of kids who were throwing rocks at their tanks. It's like, get out there and tell them how you feel, you coward. Instead of it just being this benign setting with just these nice people who just happen to be Jewish. But anyway, here's the thing I really want to dwell on. They finish up the spot by posting this on the screen. Hitler was right was posted over 70,000 times last year. Okay. That's not, first of all, 70,000 times is not a lot. It's not really that much, considering how many people are out there, posting things online. I mean, and I bet that a lot of other things were posted a lot more than Hitler was right. And I bet that, Kill Whitey was posted probably 100,000 times, 150,000 times. I'm guessing. I don't know. But they don't care. The thing is, they don't care about that. There's only certain types of slogans and certain types of behavior that they want to draw attention to and be all consternated about and want to shame and belittle. But anyhow, so I don't really think this reads as alarmist as it's meant to. But what alarms me about it is this: how do they know how many times this phrase was posted? How do they know that? Are they just, there's a way of getting into everybody's files and I don't know, reading everybody's internet, everybody's email, everything they put out on the internet in one way or another, and just quantifying the times that this phrase "Hitler was right" was used. I don't know. Was he right about the Versailles Treaty being pretty crappy? Was he right about I don't know. I guess I'm being a little bit smart alecky here, but just that's the alarming thing to me. Not 70,000 times. Well, I mean, how many people are out there, edgy posting? That's, I would think that it would be posted a lot more than that. But on the other hand, I bet that other things that aren't, other types of objectionable statements that aren't as that are seen as generally acceptable, such as anti-white statements, anti-male statements, anti-white male statements, kill whitey or whatever. I'm sure that those words and phrases are posted. Gosh, I'm guessing way more than 70,000 times. And I would even think that Hitler was right would have been posted more than 70,000 times. It'd probably be posted 6 million times, actually. But anyway, anyway, that's the most alarming thing about this is not that this kid, this boomer father is raking over the coals. Get out of the truck and say it to their faces. I don't. What am I trying to say? How do they know that they say it with such surety? How do they know? How are they able to count? How are they able to quantify that? How do they have access to that information? How do they, it was posted? So posted where? Posted on email? Posted on forums? Public forums? Private forums? But I guess there must be a way that they have of just getting in there, getting into the every nook and cranny of the internet, including places that are supposed to be places where people are sharing private messages with one another. and reading what they're saying there. That's got to be. I mean, because it doesn't say where it was posted. I guess we're meant to think that it's on just on the internet generally, but but how I'm this clarifies for me more than I mean this makes me believe more than I even believed before that they're watching us all the time and keeping track of what we're saying, and even we think we're we're just saying something in private to somebody else. I read a story about two Georgetown professors who got fired. This happened a couple of years ago because in a Zoom call to one another that they made, they talked about how their black students tended not to be succeeding uh, as well in their classes. And for both of them, it was like, this is a bad thing. We want to do something about this. How do we help them out? But the fact that they were um, they put it out there so blatantly and so frankly, it was like, well, you guys, you're fired. You can no longer be professors here at Georgetown University anymore. For something that they said over a private Zoom call that wasn't meant to be for public consumption. Of course, if you go out and you make an official statement or you say something on the record, uh, that's not just like something that is overheard in a private conversation. Um, of course, if it's something said in some official capacity, then yeah, and if it's something where you're demeaning some group of people, any group of people, which they didn't even seem to be doing in this case, but it was construed that way. Anyway, I'm bringing that up just because this just makes me like the fact that they can put this out there and say, we know that over 70,000 times the phrase Hitler was right was posted. How do they have access to that information? You understand what I'm saying? I think you do. The second weird thing about this ad is just I don't know how, like, you're supposed to watch this ad and you're supposed to think that the dad's right and he's correct to be humiliating his son. So saying, I read what you put on the internet. I read what you posted. Where do you get that garbage from? Why don't you just go out and tell these people, if what would have backfired if he'd gone out and shouted, Hitler was right. Then it'd be like, well, way to go, Dad. But the entire the entire spot seems to be wrong-headed because if it, to me, I think it inspires sympathy for the kid. I mean, it's how I react to it anyway. But maybe that's because I'm, as someone who is a thought criminal myself, I tend to have an inherent sympathy for thought criminals, especially those who are getting self-righteously lambasted by NPCs. Who just, you said something that you're not supposed to say. You said something that is socially unacceptable. I'm so ashamed of you. I'm so ashamed that you're my son. Of course, at the end, he tousles his hair lovingly, because he knows that he's made his point and humiliated the kid. But anyway, how do they know this? How are they able to come up with this computation? They're clearly watching us. They're clearly keeping tabs on us. That's my takeaway from this spot. It's quite different from what they intended, but there you have it. Leave your thoughts below. Thanks for watching.